Safe by accident. In this video, author Dr. Aubrey Daniels talks about rare errors, those infrequent errors that are usually blamed on individuals or groups when in fact the issue is a failure of leadership.
What people normally say is that the longer you go without an incident or an event, a safety event of some kind, the more complacent people get. And that's true. Now behaviorally, what that means is that if your job is to look for deviations that would, put the process of people at risk, and there are never any. In other words, things are running exactly like they're supposed to run. After a while, you quit looking. You know, if you're supposed to look at an alarm to see that it's within certain tolerance, and every time you look at it, it's always like it's supposed to be. And you're supposed to check this thing several times a day, and you've been working there for several years and you've never ever seen that thing deviate. Guess what? The natural response is to quit looking. You have to input errors, not real errors, but you have to give somebody something to look at. You know, so that when you look at it, occasionally there's going to be a deviation. It's like security guards at night. You know, sitting and looking at a number of screens with a camera focused on some part of the environment. And you got 10 of them you're supposed to look at. Now, if you think somebody's going to sit there all night and look at something as stimulating as a door or a hallway, then, as they say, I got a bridge to sell you, because they're not going to do that. They're not going to do that. What you basically do is you fix this so that something shows up there occasionally. No, you're not going to look at something that never varies. So what we do is we program the computer to generate a scene that varies occasionally. It could be a number, it could be a person, an animal, it could be anything. And we have them record it, and the next day we know what we put in, we know what they recorded, and so we can give them a score. Now you see people get really excited about this, because if you go to ask a security person, how was it last night? Nah, pretty dull. The reason I say that is because they didn't look, they didn't see anything. When you start recording what they saw against what we put in, they get excited about it. They say, I think I got them all last night. Don't think you got one by me. Now, the idea, of course, is we get them to look so that, in fact, if there is something, they're more likely to see it. There's a whole technology, behind this. And that's the point, really, of the book, that science, once we understand behavior from a scientific perspective, then there are solutions to a lot of things that people have struggled with for many, many years.
Safe by accident, taking the luck out of safety. For more from Dr. Judy Agnew and Aubrey Daniels, and to purchase the book, Safe by Accident, visit the website safebyaccident.com.